Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi suggests dialogue to end tension between India and Pakistan. Qureshi says war with India not an option for Pakistan. Foreign Minister says Islamabad wants to improve ties with neighboring countries. Qureshi raises Kashmir issue with United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Election Commission issues voters list for by-elections in national and provincial assemblies constituencies. ECP says 5.57 voters are registered to cast ballots in 12 constituencies of the National Assembly, 2.39 voters to cast ballots in 12 constituencies of Punjab, 1.58 million in 10 of Khyber Paktoonkhuwa, 483,167 in 3 of Sindh and 183,381 in 2 of Baluchistan. Chief Justice Saqib Nisar takes suo motu notice of private universities across Punjab. Bench directs Punjab Advocate General to submit report regarding details of universities and affiliated colleges in province. Chief Justice directs criminal cases be registered for opening campuses against the law. Death toll jumps to 384 after tsunami quake in Indonesia. Bodies of some victims found trapped under rubble of collapsed buildings. Facebook unearths security flaw affecting 50 million users. Facebook is also temporarily disabling View As. Gazans bury Palestinians killed during Friday protests. Protests have been taking place weekly at border for the last 6 months. Bollywood stars back Indian actress who claims she was sexually harassed by a veteran actor. Bollywood actors like Priyanka Chopra, Farhan Akhtar and Recha Chadha tweeted in support of Miag shows off latest techno fabric at Paris Fashion Week. Fabric developed from a mix of natural fibers and synthetic materials to make it easy to style. Stars of Bollywood comedy drama meet fans in Mumbai. Film Pataka revolves around two sisters who share difficult relationship with each other.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. You're watching 92 News HD UK. My name is Muhammad Yasir Rizwan.
And my name is Faik Mahmood. Starting off with the top story today, Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi has said that tension between Pakistan and India can be lessened through dialogue. He says war with India is not an option for Pakistan. During an interview, Qureshi said Pakistanis wanted peace in the region.
He said Islamabad wanted to improve ties with the neighboring countries. In a meeting with the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, he also raised the Kashmir issue. More in this report.
A peaceful resolution of the Kashmir conflict, the minister told the Guterres, should reflect the wishes of Kashmiris and be in line with United Nations statutes. The Secretary General, he said, should play a role in the resolution of the conflict. Qureshi is in New York for the United Nations General Assembly session. In interviews to US media, Qureshi said dialogue was the only way to resolve the conflict between Pakistan and India. He said war was not an option. He regretted that foreign ministers' meeting was cancelled over lame excuses.
There is no other option. Talks is the only way forward. The talks have been stalled for the last 3 years. and this government came in, and we were of the view that we need to re-engage. We have outstanding issues, and the only way of resolving those issues is through a dialogue.
Qureshi said the meeting had gone ahead. He would have put forth the evidence of Indian interference in Baluchistan.
Yes, if I met the Indian Foreign Minister, I had some grievances as well, and I could have, with evidence, given her our point of view on the fanning of insurgency in Baluchistan.
The foreign minister told the UN chief Pakistan wished for a peaceful resolution to Afghan issue. An Afghan-led and own peace process was the way to go forward, Qureshi said.
The Election Commission of Pakistan has issued the schedule and voters list for October by-elections. By-polls are to be held on 36 constituencies on October 14th and on 3 on October 31st. According to the ECP records, 5.57 million voters are registered in the 12 National Assembly constituencies. There are 2.39 million registered voters in 12 Punjab constituencies, 1.58 million in 10 of Khyber Paktoonkhuwa constituencies, 48,367 in the 3 Sindh constituencies, and 183,381 in 2 Baluchistan constituencies. The seats have fallen vacant through a death of candidates and resignation of returned candidates.
The government of Sindh announced on Saturday the formation of a joint investigation team to look into May 12 carnage. The JIT will be headed by the Additional Inspector General of Sindh Police. Its members will be taken from other law enforcement agencies. The team will submit its report to Sindh High Court in 2 weeks.
The Sindh government has announced the formation of a JIT to look into May 12, 2007 violence in Karachi. More than 50 people were killed and more than 100 injured in the attack on rallies taken out by political parties and lawyers in support of the then deposed Chief Justice. Iftikhar Muhammad Chaudhry, ahead of a lawyers gathering he was to address. On May 11, the Sindh High Court had ordered the formation of a joint investigation team. The JIT will be headed by Karachi's additional IGP, who will be joined by the Special Branch DIG and the Counter-Terrorism DIG. Intelligence Bureau Joint Director and Colonel rank officers from intelligence agencies will also join them. The JIT will reinvestigate the cases pertaining to May 12 riots and reports to Sindh High Court in 2 weeks.
We'll be having more news stories right after a short break.
Stay with us.
Welcome back after the break. Liberal Democrats, Britain's third largest parliamentary party, have nominated Kamran Hussain, an Asian origin citizen, as its candidate in the next general elections from Leeds Northwest Headingley.
The nominee has said that he will support the resolution of Kashmir issue. Asif Qureshi reports.
Kamran Hussain, a man of Pakistani origin, has been nominated by the Liberal Democrats as their candidate in the next general elections. Hussain will run from Northwest Headingley. The Liberal Democratic Party has thrice won the seat. Talking to 92 News UK, Kamran Hussain said securing the rights of Pakistanis, Indians and Bangladeshis settled in UK would be among his priorities.
We believe that people should be able to go and decide and marry whoever they feel like around the world. Now, there should be some restrictions, but the restrictions currently of the £18,600 is not acceptable to the Liberal Democrats. There should be criteria, and there's criteria in place, but this is discriminating against people from abroad, and we do not accept discrimination. People have a right to a private and family life, and that includes going and getting married in India, Pakistan or Bangladesh or anywhere else in the world, and allowing them to bring their spouses over to the UK.
Kamran also said bridging the widening gap between the rich and the poor would be another priority.
You're absolutely right to touch upon Brexit and the implications that is having on people's livelihoods in this country. Brexit has not happened yet, and already we are seeing the consequences. We are seeing businesses moving abroad. We are seeing the prices increasing in the shops. And you're absolutely also right to touch upon homeless people. Homelessness should not be happening in this UK in 2018. People should have the right to an affordable house. So we are asking the government to put a program in place where affordable housing is built and people, the younger especially, are able to get on that housing ladder. And for those people who are living by the breadline, housing it should be a right, not a beneficiary.
Pakistan People's Party Northern Region President Chaudhry Zafar Balwat and Liberal Democratic Party leader Chaudhry Wahid Anwar have congratulated Kamran Hussain on award of the ticket.
हमारे लिए ये बड़े फख्र और बड़े ऑनर की बात है कि लिबडम ने जनाब चौधरी कामरान साहब को नॉर्थ वेस्ट के लिए आने वाले इलेक्शन में पार्लियामेंट का उम्मीदवार नामजद किया है। हम इनको मुबारकबाद पेश करते हैं और अपनी कम्युनिटी से ये रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं कि कामरान साहब को सपोर्ट करें, इनकी इलेक्शन कैंपेन चलाएं, इनको वोट दें। ऐसे पढ़े लिखे नौजवान को जब हम पार्लियामेंट में भेजेंगे तो हमारे जो इश्यूज़ हैं उनको ये बेहतर तरीके से डील कर पाएंगे। स्पेशली और बिलखुसूस जो हमारा कश्मीर का इशू है उस पर ये हमारे मौक़िफ़ की बेहतर तरीके से तायद कर पाएंगे।
मुबारकबाद पेश करता हूं और लिबरल डेमोक्रेट पार्टी का शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं पर इनको जो टिकट दिया गया है एशियन कम्युनिटी से फर्स्ट टाइम इन लीड्स। तो मैं समझता हूं कि ये एशियन कम्युनिटी के मसाइल को भी पार्लियामेंट में जाकर अपना रोल अदा करेंगे और इसके अलावा मसला कश्मीर के हल के लिए भी अपना भरपूर रोल अदा करेंगे।
Both Labour and Conservative parties have yet to award a ticket from Leeds to a person of Asian origin.
Sir John Major, the former Prime Minister, has said a second referendum on Brexit was the British people's right. However, he said party's colleagues' attacks against PM Theresa May were unreasonable and unhelpful. Addressing an event at the South Shields, Major said those threatening PM May did not realize how inappropriate their attitude was. He said such statements were against the spirit of democracy. The former Prime Minister was of the view that Britons should get another opportunity to decide on Brexit. He said arguments in favour of Brexit had seemed to be quite imaginative. A research has found that incidents of harassment of students at universities in the United Kingdom are increasing. The report says in numerous cases, teachers have been found guilty of bullying their students. The report says there have been complaints against no less than 300 teachers, including senior professors and laboratory directors. Dozens of students present as well as former have said teachers bullying students at the university. In some cases, they say the pressure destroys students' career beyond the redemption. The report says Human Resource Department have failed to protect students, choosing instead to shield the institutions against unwelcome publicity.
The body of Thomas Jones, the missing University of Worcester student, was recovered from a river on Saturday, the police has said. Jones had left the university premises a few days ago and did not return. Police have now tweeted about spotting the boy's body in River Syrian. Earlier, police have arrested a 20-year-old on suspicion of murder, but later released him. Parents of the deceased have thanked his friends and others who assisted in the recovery of the body. Police say an autopsy would determine the cause of Jones' death.
A lunch reception was hosted in Luton on Saturday to honour Azad Jammu and Kashmir's Minister for Local Bodies, Raja Nasir Ahmed Khan. A large number of PMLN workers attended the event. For more on this, have a look at this report made by Safta Bukhari.
Businessman Nabil Shabir Janjua hosted the lunch. Overseas Commissioner for Azad Kashmir Raja Zubair Iqbal Khiani and Iftikhar Katyarvi were prominent among the guests. A number of members of other political parties too were present.
तकरीबन 10,000 रुपए का 20,000 रुपए का बजट जो है इस दफ़ा हम आज़ाद कश्मीर में रोड्स के वाले से अपग्रेड की हैं। पहले थी 12 फुट थी, हमने 23 फुट करके उसका नेटवर्क को हमने सही तरीके से लैंड पर लाया है। हमने आईनी एक्ट 76 में तब्दीली की। एक बहुत बड़ा कारनामा है, मामूली कारनामा नहीं है कि हमने एक्ट 76 में तब्दीली की जो 70 सालों में तब्दीली नहीं हो सकी। 70 सालों में वो तब्दीली नहीं हो सकी। हाँ, हमारी हुकूमत ने ये तब्दीली की और 13वीं आईनी तरमीम जो लाई उसमें वज़ारत अमूर कश्मीर और जो हमारे टैक्सेस आज़ाद कश्मीर से जमा होते थे वह वज़ारत अमूर कश्मीर जो 80% जो बजट है वो हमें देते थे और काट कर 20% खुद खर्च करते थे। अल्लाह की मेहरबानी से उस आनी तेरी तरमीम से अब सारा बजट जो आज़ाद कश्मीर के टैक्सेस से जो कश्मीर कौंसिल का था अब कश्मीर कौंसिल एक मतलब मिशावती दरा रह गया है, उसकी कोई पोजीशन नहीं है।
Speaking on the occasion, Raja Nasir Ahmed Khan said that local government elections had not been held in Azad Kashmir for 22 years. He said these will be held very soon.
कमीशन की जो जिम्मेदारी है अभी उसका तयन तो नहीं हुआ, टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस तय नहीं हुई, लेकिन जो बुनियादी जिम्मेदारी ओवरसीज़ के मसाइल का हल है मैं समझता हूँ। और इस सिलसिले में जो सबसे बड़ा मसला है वो ओवरसीज़ लोगों की वहाँ पर जायदादों का कब्जे का है, जो हमारे सामने आया।
20 साल जो है वो कम्प्लीट होंगे और इस वक्त जो भी हुकूमत आज़ाद कश्मीर की वो मेरिट पर काम कर रही है। बिलखुसूस NTS का जो आपका अजरा हुआ है और जो PSC का जो कमीशन बना था उसके वाले से जितने भी काम इस वक्त मेरिट पर हो रहे हैं।
Raja Zubair Iqbal Kiani said Kashmiris could now legislate on their own and not be required to seek permission from the Kashmir Council. Kiani said it would always be his endeavor to resolve the problems faced by overseas Pakistanis. He said a consultative body would be formed in UK very soon.
At least 384 people were killed, many swept away by giant waves as they played on the beach when a major earthquake and tsunami hit the Indonesian island of Sulawesi. More in this report.
Hundreds had gathered for a festival on the beach of the city of Palu on Friday when waves up to 6 meters high smashed ashore just on dusk, sweeping many to their death and destroying anything in their path. Strong aftershocks continued to rock the coastal city on Saturday morning following the massive 7.5 magnitude earthquake on Friday, which triggered the tsunami. Bodies of some victims were found trapped under the rubble of collapsed buildings. Stupo Provo Nogro, spokesman of Indonesia's disaster mitigation agency BNPB, said in news briefing in Jakarta, adding 540 people were injured and 29 missing.
The social networking company said Facebook discovered a security flaw affecting about 50 million user accounts, which could have allowed attackers to take over those accounts.
Facebook, which has more than 2 billion monthly active users, has since fixed the vulnerability and informed law enforcement, it said. Attackers stole Facebook access tokens through its View As feature, which they could then use to take over people's accounts. View As allows users to see what their own profile looks like to someone else. Facebook has reset the access tokens of the 50 million affected accounts and, as a precaution, reset access tokens for another 40 million that have been looked up through the View As option over the last year. About 90 million people will have to log back into Facebook or any of their app that use a Facebook login, the company said. Facebook is also temporarily disabling View As.
Hundreds of mourners in Gaza attended the burial of 2 boys aged 12 and 14 who were killed by Israeli soldiers while protesting along the border. More in this report.
The 2 Palestinian boys were among thousands of people protesting at the Fort Field Gaza Strip border on September 28. Gaza health officials said 7 people had died, 505 people wounded, and 89 of them by gunshots. The protests have been taking place weekly at the border for the last 6 months. At least 190 Palestinians have been killed since the Gaza protests began on March 30 to demand rights to lands lost to Israel in the 1948 war of its foundation and the easing of an Israeli-Egyptian economic blockade.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov suggested that the United States had undermined efforts to reach international agreements ranging from Middle East peace, Iran climate and trade. Lavrov, while addressing the UN General Assembly, said that attacks had been launched against the basic principles of a Middle East peace process, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, commitments of the World Trade Organization, climate agreements and many more. He also said Moscow would do everything possible to save the Iran nuclear deal struck by world powers in 2015.
Thousands of people demonstrating both for and against Catalan independence shut down parts of central Barcelona on Saturday, 2 days before the anniversary of a vote on secession last year that polarized the wealthy Spanish region.
Tensions remain high in the independence-minded region, a year after the October 1 vote deemed illegal by Madrid but celebrated by separatist Catalans. Pro-independence groups camped out overnight on Friday to prevent a demonstration in support of police deployed in Catalonia during last year's failed bid to split from Spain. Catalan authorities said almost 1,000 people were injured after police tried to stop voting at polling stations across the region a year ago. 2 people were arrested during scuffles between protesters and police on Saturday, in which demonstrators threw paint at right police, keeping them apart from the rival unionist demonstration.
A 3-member British delegation has visited India's hill town of Dharamshala and held talks on China-Tibet conflict with the Tibetan leadership. Dharamshala is the seat of the so-called Tibetan government in exile.
The delegation, comprising Tim Longton of Conservative Party, Chris Law of Scottish National Party and advocacy officer Gloria V.W. Montgomery, met with Dalai Lama and held discussions on human rights situation in Tibet.
So we spoke to him about what's going on in the United Kingdom, about how we need to do more to bring people together, and particularly we talked about the human rights situation in Tibet, but also the environmental concerns about what is happening in Tibet and the huge environmental damage that potentially China is doing to the roof of the world, and something like 40% of the population relying on water coming from Tibet.
The group, which is on a 6-day visit to the hill town, also held talks on the environmental damage allegedly caused by the Chinese government.
I think about how Tibet moves forward with its middle path with China and re-enters into dialogue so there could be a peaceful solution for Tibetan people and also to end the troubles that have been happening.
The United Kingdom is one of the major Western powers still holding meetings with Dalai Lama, despite Beijing's objections that such encounters foment separatism.
We'll be having more news stories right after a short break.
Stay with us.
Welcome back. After the break, Bollywood stars are speaking up against sexual harassment after allegation against a veteran actor surfaced this week.
With several calling for action against perpetrators in an industry that is notorious for its exploitation of women. More in this report.
Tanushri Datta, a Bollywood actress and former Miss India, said in a news interview this week that Nana Patekar, a veteran actor who is now 67, had harassed her on the sets of a film in 2008. Datta had made the same allegations in 2008 and Patekar had denied them at the time. Nana Patekar made me feel uncomfortable, misbehaved with me and demanded doing an intimate step with me in a dance number on the sets of the film Horn OK Please, alleged Datta on September 26. Datta also alleged that when she refused Patekar called workers for a local political party who damaged her car and threatened Bollywood actors like Priyanka Chopra, Farhan Akhtar and Richa Chadda tweeted in support of Datta. Meanwhile, lawyer of Patekar, Rajendra Shirodkar, threatened legal action against Datta for making false allegations and asked her for a written apology.
Over 100 specially abled people enjoyed the screening of classic Bollywood drama film Sholay in New Delhi.
More in this report.
The audience enjoyed the drama through the enabling by audio description, which is a parallel narration rack intended primarily for blind and visually impaired consumers. We can enjoy movies fully because of the audio description. All movies should be released with them, and movies should be more inclusive, said a specially abled man, Sadhguru. According to UNICEF, the specially abled children across the globe are sometimes excluded from the mainstream society and therefore remain cut off from education, health and other services.
And now about fashion. EC Miyake's Spring and Summer 2019 collection presented a new type of fabric at the Paris Fashion Week, developed by their design team, created to hold its shape when twisted, crumbled, folded or stretched, so that the wearer can style the structured fabric to their taste.
Called Do. The fabric was developed from a mix of natural fibers and synthetic materials to make it easy to style but so that it stays put in the position desired. Creative director Yoshiyuki Miyamai cited the freedom of play with the fabric and enjoy changing it into any shape with your hands, just like bread dough, as the influence of the collection. The wearer can style the signature hat in one way during the day and then change it for evening wear.
Moviegoers received a surprise gift when star cast of the newly released Bollywood comedy drama Pataka visited the theatre and interacted with the fans in the entertainment capital, Mumbai.
The film is directed by Vishal Bhardwaj and the film revolves around two sisters who shares difficult relationship with each others. The comedy drama stars actress Radhika Madan and Sania Malhotra in lead roles and actor Vijay Ras and Sunil Grover, who are known for their comic timings and acting skills. Malhotra was last seen in her debut movie Dangal, where she shared the big screen with Khan and Fatima Sana Sheikh.
Second trailer has been released for The First Man. The film revolves around historical summit of moon by the Neil Armstrong. The film will hit the cinemas on October 12th. That's all from the news studio. For more details, you can visit our website 92NewsHDUK.TV.
Keep watching 92 News HD UK.